And we are live, No Chill Live, episode 148. We back. We got Julian here. We got Brian here. We got Troy. It's Leo season. We took a short summer break, but we're back with the vibes.
You already know what time it is. Make sure you follow, subscribe. Thank you for everybody that's been rocking with us for, over 4 years now?
Over 4 years.
148 episodes. My God.
So
My
cool.
God. Y'all are loyal out there.
Hell yes. Hell yes. We love you all. Make sure you like this video, share it with your friends. Comment. We want to hear from you guys on all these fire topics today. DM us if you want to call in and join in the fun. But yeah, we're back. We're back, repping the United States of America.
Oh, you already know.
Even though we opened up with the London artist.
Because all we do is win, though. All we do is win.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Welcome back, everybody. We missed you all. We missed you, but, we've been doing a lot of, hanging out in the sun, spending time with friends and family, catching up, man.
Some summertime madness. Summertime madness. It's been a really good time over the last couple of weeks, but I'm definitely glad to be back with the people. I'm definitely glad to be back.
Hell yeah, me too. Me too. We're probably going to be hitting up the boardwalk for some street interviews again soon. So we got a lot more fun for you guys. We went live by the pool on Juneteenth. Back, damn, that was already like 2 months ago, man. But we going back to the pool next week.
Yeah, I can't wait because listen, after this past weekend, we had a wonderful pool party over there. It was a lituation outside. We had drinks, we had food, we had weed, we had women, we had guys. Like it was a turn up out there. It was a great time.
It was a turn up, man. Thanks everyone who pulled up to third annual grand pool party at my parents' house. It was lit. We got a lot of great feedback on the vibes, the food. We watched Team USA win, Team USA basketball win.
Yes,
outdoors together as a family. All celebrating America. So shout out to everybody.
America had to bring home that gold.
Yeah. I mean, I told them. I said, don't come back home if you're not coming back with the gold. And they put it on a show. But yeah, we had a show going. Man, it's been a lit summer. I think we expected it to be lit, but I don't know. I feel like it's been a little bit more unpredictable than I thought. Like, especially, I mean, I know you've been wondering about Trump's ear, and he must be like Wolverine because that shit looks normal.
Fam, that shit was a lie. This is up there with Watergate, with JFK's assassination, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all these assassinations done by and faked by the government, the 9/11 terror attack. Like, listen, don't get me started. The aliens.
You sound like Joe Rogan right now, bro. Got chill.
I'm just saying how you can't get shot in the ear and your full ear be completely healed. I want to know what they really put that bandage on his ear like they were doing something. No blood came through ever. Like, they lied.
Yeah. I know you're really disappointed. You're really looking forward to like seeing that mangled ear. You thought he was gonna look like Holyfield.
If he had a mangled ear, I don't think the last few weeks would have gone the way that they've gone, because he would have been parading around with his fucked up ear. Everybody would have been going insane. His supporters would have been riled up. Like, their mouth would be frothing and shit. Like, it would be a way different story than how it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm disappointed. I can't say it enough. Like, this is it's a hoax.
Yeah, I won't say it's a hoax. I do think something happened. I don't know if he got grazed or what. I was expecting a gnarly, ear after this, but
something. You can't even see a scar.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like you see a dog that got in a dog fight, like a little chunk of the ear is like missing. Now it makes a nice little triangle. It looks cool. Like, oh, this is a badass dog, but. No, you don't see nothing on Trump. Not a single thing. Listen.
Man, I know you're a fan of Mike Vick, but you got to relax, bro.
Listen, legend, Atlanta legend, Mike Vick.
Philly legend or no?
That's a hard question. He was beloved in Philly. That is for sure.
Yeah.
He definitely was, but legend, not quite. He got us to the playoffs, what, one time? 2 times, maybe?
It was a nice comeback.
He overlapped with Chip, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Chip Kelly, man.
Yeah.
But man, Trump's been, he's been fighting back. Kamala seems like she's gotten a lot of momentum. But Trump, he's pulling out all the stops. He's even going back to where he got most of his clout, man, on Twitter or X.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
He is back. I mean, this week, yesterday he was supposed to go live with Elon, and they had technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Said it was a DDoS attack.
Yeah. That's what Elon said, but I never trust anything that man says. It seems like every time they have a big event, their infrastructure just cannot handle it. I mean, we talked about him buying Twitter for what was it, $40 billion?
$40 billion. Their company's worth a quarter of that now.
And I don't think this is helping. I don't think this is helping at all. But they were like 45 minutes late because of the technical difficulties, and they talked for like over an hour. Did you watch any of it?
No, I didn't catch any of it. But because I was waiting at 8, I was ready to tune in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was gonna pull it up on my phone and listen. But it was so late. Then why?
Yeah.
Why bother?
Yeah. They screwed it up. But I don't know. Like, I feel like their relationship between Elon Musk and Trump has been kind of up and down since I think he was on like some sort of panel, Elon, early in Trump's presidency, and then he left. But now they seem to be buddy.
It's a relationship of opportunity.
Yeah.
If there's an opportunity for money to be made between the two of them, then that's when they're friendly. Aside from that, no.
Yeah, like it's funny because I feel like this was his opportunity to like, make a statement. But I feel like the biggest headlines from this were the technical difficulties and the way Trump was talking. We said his ear's okay, but I don't know, man. Maybe one of the side effects of an assassination attempt is a lisp.
Maybe. Let's take a listen to this brief clip so everybody can hear what we're talking about
today.
Well, I think we will. I'm pretty sure we will. And congratulations, because I see you broke every record in the book with so many millions of people. And it's an honor. We view that as an honor.
So many millions of people. He's been hanging out too much with Mike Tyson and stuff. That, or maybe whatever Biden has, it caught up with him too.
It's contagious, man. You think the dementia is contagious? I don't know, man.
Dementia, the stuttering, the lisping. I don't know. But there were some people online saying that, oh, this is the video compression messing up his speech. I'm like, y'all will say anything to defend this man.
That's crazy. When Biden pulled out, I remember I was at my parents' house and my dad was like, "Oh, who's the old man now?" And I'm like, that's true. Now Trump's the old man.
He is. And I hope Kamala goes after his age. She got to.
Yeah.
She got to.
She should. I mean, Trump seems to be going after pretty much the migrants. Like 90% of the time he's talking.
That's all his he has no platform. Like, he doesn't have any policy, anything that he's trying to reform or do to make the country better other than we got to keep these Mexicans out of the country. Like, it's crazy. And, the white people that live in fucking Iowa, they're like, oh, they're so right. Mexicans are not going to Iowa. They don't even come in anywhere near your state. Like, why do you care?
Listen, this is what, I don't know, man. This has just been popular in the United States. These nationalist people, just anything that's
so
not,
stupid.
American or English speaking, they find threatening to their culture here. But it's funny because we're a nation of people who immigrated here to escape, a worse circumstance. But,
sick.
It's crazy the
The
way.
hypocrisy, man.
Yeah, extreme hypocrisy. But it's okay, I guess, if you're from European countries, because Trump keeps highlighting where these people are coming. He said it's not just South America, it's Asia, it's Africa, and we're getting the worst people from prisons and mental institutions. And he's just freestyling.
Like, they have to jump through so many hoops just to get a work visa to work here.
Yeah.
It's insane. And anybody that comes here, typically they work in tech. So do you want the most profitable industry that we have right now in this country, which is tech, to not continue to grow and develop. Like, it makes no sense. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's just a targeted scapegoat, to get, the base charged up. But I think it'll turn a lot of other voters off because honestly, it's ridiculous. Have you ever seen the movie Machete?
Yes.
Yeah, his campaign reminds me of like Robert De Niro's character in Machete, like 100%. Like, I wish I could pull like the campaign ad in the movie because it's like, I don't know. It's like really spot on.
I haven't seen that in a while though. What's the dude's name? He always plays like the
Danny Trejo.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
I love him. He's had wrinkles since he was 25.
For real, he has, man. I feel like he's always played like the same type of character, but Machete.
Yes.
That's a classic. And there's also an assassination attempt that was in that movie too. So everyone should watch that,
Look at that. Look at that.
What do they call it? Entertainment comes to life or some shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Art imitates reality.
There you go. But yeah, we talked about Hulk Hogan at the Republican National Convention, and I think Kid Rock was there, and all the other right wing celebrities. Amber Rose, she had the slut walk, but Kamala has her own celebs. Even before the Democratic National Convention, which is coming up in a couple weeks, right? Was it next week?
I think it's next week. Yeah.
Damn, next week. But even before then, she's been campaigning, her and her VP candidate, Tim Walz, who she named a couple of weeks ago. Or, damn, that might have been last week. My track of time is not the best.
It's a little off. It's a little off.
It really is. I'm like, when did that happen?
All the days blended together, man.
Yeah. But she's been out and about, man. She brought out one of your faves.
That's right. That's right. She did. Let's take a quick look at just who we're talking about moving that thing. Let's go, Meg. Move it. In a pantsuit too. Oh, she looked good. It's a long video. You're gonna have to wait a little bit.
Nah, man, enjoy it. I know you're enjoying yourself right now.
People in the back of Meg were hating too. They started looking around like, what is going on? Why is she? This is not appropriate. And then of course you got the one white lady that's vibing. She's like, yeah, holding her poster for Kamala.
Man, what world do we live in right now, man? Shit's getting weird.
It's so strange. Like, when I saw it, I'm like, this is not the right audience. You need to do, if Kamala was doing a speech at a college, I could understand it. Like, you bring out Meg, oh, that college is going crazy. But in this setting, not quite.
Yeah.
Not quite.
I don't think the crowd was feeling it too much.
No.
Honestly, I wasn't really feeling it either, but she said hotties for Harris. She has a real strong fan base. And then on Twitter, hoes for Harris was trending because everyone was hating on them. I'm like, you guys were just celebrating Amber Rose like 2 weeks ago. Now it's hoes for Harris because it's Meg Thee Stallion who, I don't know. She's not nearly as salacious to me as Amber Rose personally. I mean, at least she's an artist.
Yeah, but Amber went up and she gave a speech. She didn't twerk. She hung up her twerking shoes.
She should have twerked though. Like, that would have been way better. Come on,
she would have created some waves. That is for sure.
For real. You got to play to your strengths, and that's what Meg's good at doing.
Listen, I think that she needs to get the younger people excited. Yeah, and I think she understands that. Because obviously her VP pick is not meant to do that. He's meant to get, middle of the country, some of these coal states and things like that going, the Bible Belt or whatever we're calling it now nowadays, the abortion ban belt. But I think that we're going to see more of this next week.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. My mom said, oh, she should play Not Like Us. And I was like, hell no. We talked about
I would not be surprised. I really would not be surprised.
I'd be very surprised. I don't think Kendrick's gonna let that happen. And come on, don't do that. Like, don't ruin the song. The one thing I will say, one regret I have over at the pool party is that song didn't get played on the playlist.
And that was upset. Nat was upset about that. She was like, they didn't play Not Like Us. It would have been so good.
I know. It was a missed opportunity. I had like over 10 hours on that playlist. And I was skipping
so much.
Yeah. And that's just the one that didn't come on. So Drake, you're lucky. We'll see next year.
Because that would have been another video.
Oh
There were several.
For real, that would have been lit. So sorry, party. Next time.
Yes.
I'm sure we've all heard it enough. And but yeah, we talked about Kamala like trying to appeal and to the youth and to black people. And you said, she needs to appeal. She needs to work on that black side and not acknowledge the Indian side, because you said there's not enough Indian voters. But I don't know, man. I feel like it's a bit cringe sometimes when she tries to appeal. Like she was in Atlanta, and I'm gonna play just some audio of her talking to
Donald Trump.
The crowd.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk.
Oof.
Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it.
Her speaking style is so fucking boring to me.
Really?
I gotta say, when the day that she was announcing Tim Walz and everything like that, Shapiro came out and he tore the house down. I mean, then we're in Philly. It's his home state. It's Philly. Like, they're gonna give him some motion, but the way he was talking, the way he spoke, he definitely took a lot out of Obama's book. He's been studying Obama, like that's his mentor or something. The cadence, just the way that he would, get in the crowd's feelings and things like that. It was very Obama-esque. And then she came out and she was putting me to fucking sleep. Like, it was boring. I changed the channel. Like, it's just, her cadence is so slow and like methodical that it's boring.
I'm not mad at it, honestly. It could be worse, bro. It could be like Hillary, bro.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Oh, that's ass!
Yo, that's terrible.
She could have just said people go to the polls. Like, you didn't have to say Pokemon go to the, like, what? What are you doing?
Bro,
that's why she lost.
I hate this shit. I hate it across the board, honestly. It's just getting weird, but who knows? Who knows? It is getting weird. I know you said, Kamala, she needs to play up her blackness. And Trump, one of the things I really wanted to talk about happened a couple of weeks ago is, Trump, he called her out. He said he didn't even know that she was black until recently.
Oh my God, this clip is nuts. He was at the National Association for Black Journalists, and you all will hear this clip. It's a little bit long, but
other questions
it's important.
Here. Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a definition then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question, a very direct question.
Define it for me if you
I just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn, and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe...
Yo,
I think somebody should look into that too when you ask.
The way he says black, it's a struggle for him not to say nigga.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris...
He's like, a black person. Like, he'd be saying that shit at home. Like,
bro, it's so cringe worthy. Like, what the hell was he was saying this in front of a crowd of black people? Everyone was laughing because it's like It's a comedy show with him.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's absolutely insane. Like I think anybody that is, even if people are not mixed, you should take exception to this. Like, he's insulting. He really is. It's nasty for a white person to try to question your heritage in general. Like, and they never know how to do it. What are you? Where are you from? Like, motherfucker, I am Brian Spears. I am from New Jersey. Fuck you. Like,
I thought you liked the ambiguity though. Like, what happened?
It's fun when I'm talking to hoes. Like, outside of that, no, don't ask it, because those types of questions only come up from like people at work or people you don't like or people you just met. Like, those are the only times those kind of questions come up.
Bro, people need to know what slur to call you.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, they want to be correct when they insult you. No, I do think this was offensive and kind of just extremely ignorant, but that's how Trump got on, man, with the birther shit in 2012, questioning Obama and his heritage and where he came from.
Oh, he's got a fake birth certificate.
Bro, that's what made him hot.
Now her birth certificate is circulating online.
No.
And they're looking at it. So her birth certificate is there. It says that her mother's birth country is India.
Okay.
It says the father's birth country is Jamaica. It says the mother, her ethnicity or whatever, is Caucasian because Indians, I guess at that time, it wasn't really well defined that they were Asian. It says the father is Jamaican. So wouldn't you know that all the people are like, she's Caucasian, she's not black? Bro,
that's amazing.
It's so stupid. It's nasty out here.
Listen, I think we should all just be like, okay, we're all Caucasian. We're all white. If Kamala's white, then everyone's white. Then you can't be racist anymore. But yeah, they're always gonna question things. But I think people kind of just laugh at that or get offended. I don't really see that helping Trump. The way he thinks it might help him. Like,
there's no way.
Especially when the Democratic base, like the most loyal, demographic to voting Democrat are black women. I don't think this is helping him, in any way, kind of motivating people to get out to vote for her and support her. And I will say, since, replacing Biden, I have gotten a different sense of people's excitement and motivation actually in going to support her. Yeah. So I think the more him and his vice president pick Vance, the more they keep saying dumb shit, the more it's going to energize, other people who are undecided or were unmotivated to go vote for her. The people who are going to vote for Trump are always going to go out and vote for him. So I hope he keeps saying stupid shit. I hope he keeps talking with a lisp. I hope he keeps spiraling in his every one of his rallies, just talking about nonsense and the border and just yelling and screaming, because that's who he is. And is that really who you want to lead the country for the next 4 years? He also said, if you vote for me, it's the last time you'll have to vote ever. You won't have to vote again.
And then they doubled down on it. His campaign was like, oh, he just meant that it'll be such an easy decision for you to vote for the next Republican nominee that it'll feel like you're not having to vote again.
Makes no sense. Yo.
None.
Troy, what do you think about Kamala, using hip hop to relate to young voters? Do you think it's going to be helpful?
I think it's cringy. It might help, sway maybe some young person who's like, what, it's better than voting for Biden. I definitely do feel that energy thing, though, because I remember when we talked about, should Biden drop out? And I was like, it's too late. And I was like, feeling hopeless. And now I'm like, not super excited, but I'm definitely like more energized that she's running and someone who actually speak, enunciate and everything is going up against Trump. So, I definitely feel that shift in energy as well.
Yeah, man. Will they debate is the real question.
Well, I from what I hear, they've confirmed a date. They've confirmed September 10th for their debate. Which I think that's going to be on, let me see. Trump talks about it. He starts listing a whole bunch of dates.
That being said, I think it's very important to have debates. And
suddenly it's important to debate.
Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with NBC, fairly full agreement, subject to them, on September 10th.
Yeah, they've got the 10th of September with NBC. So that's coming up. I think hopefully she's prepared, because that's coming up quick. It's going to be 3 weeks from now. And
bro, she's been prepping for years.
I hope so. But again, I'm concerned about her cadence and the way she speaks. Like, you cannot put people to sleep.
What are you talking about? It's a debate, man. And she's a prosecutor. She knows how to speak and she knows how to, build her case and set a tone. I think she's the perfect person to go against him. I mean, we saw what Biden did. He really was scary.
You can't be worse than that. So that's a good thing. The bar is not high right now.
And Trump, the way he's been sounding, I'm sorry, that's not intimidating to me. He's not even really making sense.
This is true.
So I think he's walking into a buzzsaw, especially with his VP. His VP is going to get torn up too, because I really like what Walz has been saying.
Walz he's ready.
Yeah,
he's ready. He's sharp. I mean, I think she made a good pick. What do you think about the VP pick? Because we didn't even get a chance to talk about that before.
Yeah, I love it. I wasn't familiar with his game, but
Yeah.
looking more into, him and what he's done in Minnesota, just his attitude. I love the fact that he's been calling them weird, because I feel like that's just the perfect attack. I love when people attack.
It's gone viral already, the whole weird thing. Like,
it's true, though, and it's just such a great way to put it.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that she picked someone more progressive, because we talked about, having to energize like the youth and give people something to vote for. So hopefully they actually have a platform that, they can, speak on.
He's the next Bernie. He's the next Bernie Sanders right there.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Bernie Sanders
younger.
that actually does like guns, though.
Well, Bernie likes guns too. That's the thing. Like, in Vermont, he always has been like pro-gun. He always says, I forgot what the fuck he used to say, but he's old as shit. We gotta come in with. I'm glad they're both like Kamala's 59, Walz is 60.
Yeah.
We need youthful people in the office who actually are. Yeah, they are youthful, man. 60 is not old.
Yeah, compared to what we've had, that is true. This is taking us back to what we were dealing with Obama, which is good.
I mean, I think it's great. So I'm happy with it. I think it's definitely energized the left. I mean, I had to endorse Cornel West before. Now I got to take away my endorsement. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, Cornel. I still love you, but I'm going to endorse Kamala, even though, I feel like a lot of what they've been doing, with foreign policy, what's going on in Israel and Gaza has been terrible. But, disgusting. I do feel like, them being more progressive and her picking someone more progressive kind of shows like, okay, I feel like people protesting kind of made her feel like I need to, go more left.
Yeah.
And in the conversation Elon Musk and Trump had, he said, Trump said that he feels like Harris is worse than Biden because she's a believer in the radical left and he wasn't. And Elon was like, I think you're right. And I'm like, bro, you've been saying Biden is the radical left for years. So now you're switching it up. It makes no sense, bro. No sense.
But for his believers, maybe that is the right word. But for Trump's believers and supporters, they eat all that shit up because they're uneducated.
Not all of them, man. You can't say Elon Musk is uneducated.
He's in it for the buck. He don't believe in shit Trump got to say. He's in it for the money.
Yeah.
He knows there's a bag coming to him.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Let us know, guys. Do you think that, Kamala, using these rappers is going to help? I mean, Trump's been using rappers too. He's hanging out with Lil Pump. Just the rappers that he picks, aren't the coolest.
Fucking losers.
For real. Speaking of fucking losers, no, never mind. That's mean. I was gonna say Cardi B. No, she's not a loser, but they did lose because they are getting divorced. Her and Offset. This is like the third time she's filed for divorce from her husband Offset, but this time it's a bit different because she announced her third baby, and said she's getting divorced at the same time. Which honestly, I've never heard of such a thing like that. No, never heard of a baby reveal and divorce reveal simultaneously. So she's making history.
Dog, Cardi is like a ghetto queen. Like, she really is. Because this is just... She literally... I feel like a few months ago, she was like, oh, I'm never having kids again. Like, this is it. I'm done. I've got 2. Like, I'm set. And then 3 months later, mad pregnant. She was probably pregnant when she said that.
Probably.
I just don't get it. I do not get it. Everything with them in their relationship has been pretty messy.
Yeah,
honestly.
For sure. The whole time.
Yeah.
We know celebrity marriages are, it's hard to maintain.
Yeah.
But I do think it's messed up, especially for the baby. Now that baby's always going to be the divorce baby. Like you shouldn't attach that to the kid. I feel like those things should be separate announcements. But I feel like her whole life she got famous from being on the internet and putting her business out there and being relatable. Yeah. I feel like she's a slave to that because we know she hasn't really been producing much music, the past few years.
Just singles.
Yeah,
just singles with features and things like that. I mean, he's got 3 other kids too. One of them is like 15 years old.
Damn, that's crazy.
And their oldest together is 6.
Wow.
It's like, I don't know. I wish them all the best. Thoughts and prayers, but this is ghetto shit.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else you could say about it. But yeah, good for them, I guess. She said they're on good terms, and she did confirm that he is the baby's dad. So
that's good.
Yeah, that does sound like some shit that would be on like Maury or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking maybe we'd see her on the campaign trail with Kamala, but now that she's pregnant, probably not going to happen. No. Especially now that Meg's there, out with her. So we'll see.
I can't wait to see Barack and Michelle next week, though. I know they're going to be out there.
Oh, man. It's going to be dope. It was just Barack's birthday a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's still Leo season, guys. We know Virgo season's coming up soon.
Did you see he rolled out his summer playlist?
I saw, but I didn't look at it. I just saw the headline that said he has Shabuzi on there, and I was just like, all right.
I don't know, like, who puts these shits together for him?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he got Shabuzi on there. He got Texas Hold'em by Beyonce. He's got but I feel like No Diggity is on there every single summer.
For real.
Every single time.
That might be the one real one.
Yeah, for real. And then he does have, he got some Afro beats in there. Okay. He got Tyler and Rema and Thames. Yeah, there. All this is fake shit, I feel like.
Yeah. Shout out to the Obamas.
I mean, Billie Eilish is on there. Sting is on there. Like, maybe he does like that shit. I don't know.
Who knows, man? But yeah, it's been a good time. I'd say the last 5, 6, 7 years for women rappers, and who I got on my shirt, my girlfriend Ice Spice, yo.
Hey,
love her. Her album came out,
yes,
Y2K, a couple of weeks ago. People were surprised though. I think it only sold like 20K first week. But I feel like that's pretty much the norm nowadays, Like, it's hard for artists to, sell over 100K first week unless, you're one of the mainstream big acts at this point in time.
Honestly, I don't know why people were surprised by these numbers.
Yeah.
Like, aside from the fact that she's been outside with pretty much any and every celebrity that you can be outside with. I mean, she was in the Super Bowl suite with Taylor Swift. She's definitely been very in your face in some of these public forums, but I mean, I don't know that many people that are running to listen to Ice Spice.
Yeah, not the album. I mean, I like her music for being out. The girls love it. I mean, when her song went off at the pool party, things were happening. So
they were.
Shit was moving. There were waves in the pool. But yeah, I love Ice Spice. I went to her concert. I went to Terminal 5 to see her last week. Mm-hmm. At first, she was supposed to be at Pier 17 on Tuesday. Now, last week, the weather was shit every day. Mm-hmm. And Tuesday was one of the worst days because it was thunderstorming all night. So I knew it was going to get canceled. But they didn't cancel it until 20 minutes after showtime was supposed to start. They never opened the doors. They said, we're holding the doors. Just stay for updates. We'll have updates on social media. So I just went to this bar, on the pier, mm-hmm. and just chilled until the announcement came. And then they moved it to Terminal 5 on Thursday, thankfully. So finally on Thursday, went to the show. It was lit. It was lit as fuck. The crowd was great. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of guys there too. It was a good mix. It was maybe 60-40, 60% women, 40% dudes. I was shocked.
Wow.
And straight dudes too. It wasn't just gay dudes. And yeah, then after the show, you know, I did the meet and greet, and I had to meet her.
The meet and greet was after the show.
Yeah.
And how was that? How was it meeting her in person?
It was dope, man. She's so sweet. You know, we have a fire picture together. We look great together. You know, before the meet and greet, they had real strict instructions. They're like, you have to put your phone, you know, on the ledge because we have a photographer take the picture. Mm-hmm. They're like, keep your hands to yourself. I was just like, all right, like.
They were like, don't think this is going to be some Chris Brown shit. Like, she not out here touching on you, and you definitely not touching her.
Yeah. Chris Brown's his meet and greets are different, but his be costing $1,000, so that's crazy.
Yes.
But no, she was so sweet. You know, she told me to stay beautiful. So shout out to Ice Spice.
Very nice. Very nice.
She looked beautiful, and people have been like, you know, talking about her weight loss recently. She did look really good, in person and on stage. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I know she posted like some of her workouts, you know, before going on tour, but people are saying maybe it's Ozempic. I don't know, but I feel like she looks great.
It's a big turnaround. I feel like in May she was looking super thicky, and then suddenly she lost like half her ass. Now, I don't want to talk about your type, but which do you like more? Do you like pre-Ozempic or post-Ozempic?
I'm not saying she's on Ozempic. That's messed up, bro. But I like the way she looks now, personally.
Yeah.
Like, I like the way Meg looks now. Like, I like the slimmer women for sure.
Okay.
What about you? You got a difference of opinion?
Listen, when Ice was, she looked good before to me. I think if she just worked out a little bit, she would have been fine. But this has been a huge turnaround. I don't know if I can get behind it.
I could definitely get behind it. Shout out to Ice Spice.
That was a nice alley-oop right there.
Shout out to you, Ice. Congrats on all your success. Really nice to meet you. But yeah, she wasn't the only one who dropped new music while we were out, man. Because Kanye West, man. I thought this was a joke when they said Vultures 2 was dropping, but it did. It dropped, on Saturday? Was that 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Him and Ty Dolla $ign's second album, second installment. But this one, it's been updating like every day. And the first time I heard Vultures 2, I wasn't really feeling it. I waited a few days and I listened to the updated version. It did sound a lot better. There's some heat on there.
Yeah, because I listened to it the first day and I made it maybe halfway through. It just didn't sound at all like it was done. It reminded me of, I can't remember what fucking project he put out that was like half finished, but it reminded me of that a lot.
Probably like Ye?
Yeah, probably. But I, you know, I don't know. I'm just not super excited for Ye right now. But maybe I'll give it another listen. If you're saying they're updating it a lot, like over the last couple of weeks, then maybe I'll give it another shot.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. You know, I'd recommend it maybe when you're working out or something.
Now, that first song, though, the first song that was on there, I was like, oh, shit. When I heard that one, I was like, nah, this is about to be fire. And then the next few songs, they let me down, and I was like...
Lost interest. Yeah. It's good. You should listen to it again. I know Wayne's on there. A bunch of people are on there.
Yeah, he got a lot of features on there.
Yeah, Future's on there. Lil Baby's on there. There's a lot of people. Kodak Black. Yeah, I like it. I need to listen to it a little bit more. Troy, did you get a chance to listen to Vultures 2?
I did not. I didn't even listen to Vultures 1 yet.
Oh my
I'm
God.
so far behind. I'm just like you said, Brian. I'm not really excited to listen to new Ye. I don't really like Ty Dolla $ign like that. So I'm kind of like, I'll get to it when I get to it, but I'm not rushing out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a vibe. I like the first one better than the second one so far. But I do think it's interesting how he was selling bonus tracks on Yeezy.com for $5 a pop. And they sold out. It's like, how do you sell out of a digital track?
He's trying to create that supply-demand effect.
Bro, that's crazy. One of the tracks had like Bad Bunny on it. Like, I need to find those tracks.
That's something that's interesting.
Yeah.
I could be excited about a Bad Bunny and Ye track. That shit could be crazy.
$5 though? Come on, bro. That's a lot for one song.
It is a lot for one song. But if they're exclusives...
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool idea. I wasn't spending my money on that. Have you seen Adidas discount Yeezys to like $60 now. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that. Are they really?
Yeah.
What, on the app?
On the website, on the app.
Oh shit, I'm about to go shopping.
Literally like $60, $80. Like,
because nobody, I told you, a lot of them shit stayed up for like months. And people were not really buying them.
He said not to buy them, and it really worked. He really sabotaged them. At first, he was like, oh, I have nothing bad to say. And they were doing the drops last year. But as soon as things went left, he was just like, fuck Adidas, which he says on the album, Vultures 2.
But I mean, the thing is, their shoes, they don't have that style. They don't
colorways you don't like?
No, I'm not even talking about the Yeezys now. I'm just saying in general, like, they don't come out with anything that's fresh. Like, they still dropping shoes that look like T-Max old shoes and shit. Like, why? That's from 20 years ago. That style is not dope right now.
Yeah, I mean, they had Ye, they fumbled them, and they lost a lot of momentum since the whole debacle. I feel like Nike just has gotten stronger since they got rid of Ye. But Adidas wasn't the only person Ye dissed on this album. They said he dissed Drake, but I feel like in the song he doesn't really diss Drake because he names like a bunch of other rappers. He's like, if you don't fuck with me, go listen to Drake. If you don't fuck with me, go listen to Future. Like, and he's obviously cool with Future because Future's on multiple songs. I don't feel like he's dissing Drake on the album, but he was dissing him before. But I don't know, man. Drake seems to be in a different space now, man. That space is Texas. He's officially a resident of Texas. He posted his license, his Texas license.
Really?
Yeah, and I know you're visiting Houston soon in a few weeks, visiting your boy Sean.
That's right.
Do you plan on visiting Drake as well?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I'm sure he's going to be in Houston, though.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't even realize that. That's interesting. I guess he got his visa or whatever he needed to come and stay. I
mean, he used to stay. He has, a place in Calabasas in California, but now it seems like he's moving to Texas to take some of their sauce over there, man. What do you think about it? I mean, we talked about Houston not playing Not Like Us. We got some comments on YouTube that said that's not the case. You can let us know firsthand if you hear it out there. Yeah,
I'm definitely going to try to get outside and hit a couple clubs. We talked a little bit about the strip club. I don't know. That's going to be TBD, but
yeah, he might be there if you'll find him anywhere.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Although I don't want to be in the strip club the same night as Drake is there.
Yeah,
it's not going to be a good experience for me.
Yeah, a bit dry. Dry.
Yeah, just a little bit. Hey, can you lap dance? No, $100. What?
$2,000. That's crazy.
Are you sleeping over for $2,000? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, we've seen pictures of Drake taking like $150K to the strip club, which is insane.
That's got the crazy moving container, like
that is like a middle class household income in most states.
Yeah, between two parents, two parent household.
No, literally for one night. But shout out to Drake. Hopefully he finds some peace in Texas, but. He still got beef in the streets because, speaking of artists whose album didn't do so well, I guess, apparently, DJ Mustard, he put out his album. He was obviously the producer who produced Not Like Us. I feel like people weren't really talking about Mustard in the last few years, but that really seemed to, get his name in the mix again. He was in the video with Kendrick. They were dancing in front of the chicken store in L.A. But yeah, his album came out and it only sold 18,000 the first week. Which, like I said, like Ice Spice sold 20K, he sold 18K. I feel like that's just the new norm unless you're like an A-list top artist or just have like a cult following. But he went off on Twitter because people were trying to flame him for his low album sales, and he pretty much blamed Drake. And he said Drake is the Malcolm X of white people, which I thought that was really funny.
That is really funny. His full tweet says, Drake is the Malcolm X of white people, and academics, make sure you post Gordo's first week numbers, since Drake thought he did a thing by having him drop on the same day as me.
I mean, I didn't even know who Gordo was before that Drake song dropped, and I still don't really know who he is. But
so Nat played me a little bit of his album. It's like a dance vibe. Okay. Drake is on there with him, and I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I only listened to maybe the first half of it, but it sounded fine. Nice little, summer bop kind of feel.
I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough. So as long as he keeps up with those vibes, I'm good. I'm good for that. Like I don't, I said when he dropped For All the Dogs that he should just stop rapping and make house music. And I got flamed for that take. Everyone on YouTube and TikTok, they were calling me a hater, telling me to retire, stop talking forever. But I was just ahead of my time because now everyone's saying the same thing now that Kendrick really bodied that man. Do you think that this beef is gonna keep going? And do you think it's just gonna be like just petty stuff in the background? Because we talked about how Schoolboy Q's concert got canceled in Toronto, but then we both saw Sir here in Brooklyn, and he's supposed to perform in Toronto, and his got canceled too. Same venue.
Yeah. I think that it might be these low-key, subversive tactics. I think it's going to be that. I don't think that Drake would be stupid enough to go directly at Kendrick or anybody in his crew again. Yeah. At least not for the foreseeable future.
Not on the record, right?
Yeah, I don't think that would be wise. Because the world has seen what would happen. So I think that he's in this wave where there will be some subversive stuff, but he's also trying to, repaint the way that people look at him. He dropped this 100 gigs of content. It's 3 songs. Now the songs are actually on streaming platforms too. And it was just like a lot of recorded content, him either speaking to his mom in the studio or, talking with other people and things like that, trying to humanize himself, it seemed like, which I think it's cool. You don't usually see this, especially from an artist of his caliber, but I think, his fans are happy, but anybody that is looking at the bigger picture, they can see what he's trying to do. Yeah. Trying to win the people back.
I mean, it's hard when everyone, is screaming A minor like all the time. If I have one regret,
they not like us. They not like us. Hey.
I'm sorry. I'm never getting tired of that shit. Like, it's great. I do prefer Euphoria still. There's just so much in Euphoria that it's so funny. But I don't know, man. One person who says he regrets his comments on the Drake Kendrick beef is Lil Yachty.
Yes, he does. He was talking with what's that guy's name? Why am I blanking? I can't remember his name, but you guys listen to this clip.
People just hating on Drake because he's like he's the guy. It's no like.
I feel like there's something extra on it.
It's also probably he's fucked everyone's bitch. Yeah,
my suspicion was like, yo, this shit got to be personal.
I mean, he's also that guy though. All the records, all the numbers, like he's the one.
How hard was that beat for you? Like, I'm sure you're friends with everybody in Atlanta. You're friends
shouted out in the song.
Yeah, you're being pulled in different directions. You want to be loyal.
I just wish I had never spoke on it. That's the only thing that was the only part. I wish I hadn't said anything about it.
As you continue to speak on it.
Man, yeah. He says he's like Drake dropped great records. He said, but also let's be fair. Drake was deemed a loser in this battle before it started because people don't like him and haven't. I don't think people are gonna stop listening to Drake, and Drake's career is gonna flush. Man, I'm so sick of that narrative. It's so ridiculous, bro. Nobody.
It's not true though.
No, exactly. Like a lot of these Drake fans are like, "Oh, people were hating on him before he had no chance to win." It's like nobody was saying that after Push-Ups and after the AI track. Like at all, we were talking about this.
We were talking about it, and we were saying, "All right, what is Kendrick going to do?" And we were saying, "Kendrick's taking a little while. I wonder what's going on." Drake if he's taking this long, he's cooking.
Drake was taunting him. He was like, drop. He was like, you got to drop a triple, quadruple entendre. You got to do.
He was talking spicy to him at the end of that song.
And what happened?
Talking spicy. Kendrick did exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes you get what you ask for.
Yeah, Yachty, you should shut the fuck up. Like, stop saying stupid shit. And yeah, you won't have to have these regrets. I don't like Yachty personally because when I went to Yams Day in 2019, like, they brought out so many performers. They brought out Meek Mill, Soulja Boy, Young M.A., Nav. Yachty was one of them. And Yachty was the only one who performed for like 20 minutes. And I didn't know none of his songs. He didn't sound like any of his songs. He wore like a coat and had like 5 chains on and just kept begging, can I sing one more song? And I was like, no, get off the stage. So Rocky only had time to perform Praise the Lord. And that's it. I'm like, man, I didn't even get to see Rocky perform enough because your fucking fugly ass wouldn't get off the stage. But, you know, Yachty, I don't know how he stays relevant. People did like his last album, but I feel like as an artist, he's just lame and just kind of leans on his relationships. And he's still sucking off Drake.
I think he's creative, but his music definitely isn't for me. But I will say, I think, you know, when did he come out? 2018, 2019?
Man, like 2016.
That long ago. Man. I mean, obviously I'm not that familiar with his game, but I'm surprised he's lasted that long in the industry.
Yeah.
I put him in. I know you like Uzi, but I put all those kind of rappers in the same boat to me.
Like the same boat. No,
they're
no pun intended.
No, that's just me. That's just me. I'm not saying that they actually are. I'm just saying. For me, I don't really listen to any.
No, I'm saying it's Yachty. You said the same boat.
I didn't even know.
It got bars.
It didn't even know. It's just too easy for me.
Oh my god, they all came out in the same like freshman class. Yeah, and like 21 Savage. But I think he's the
21 is surpassed to me all of them.
Well, I mean, Uzi has his own lane. It's different with him. He's a real massive hit maker. 21 he doesn't have hits as big as Uzi does, but I feel like he's been more consistent.
Hasn't Uzi been quiet for a while, though?
Yeah, but he can be quiet. That's the thing. Like, I feel like his hits are big enough. He can be at festivals and drop whenever he wants. His last album wasn't that great, but it was good enough. There was some heat on there. Mm-hmm. He has, like, a cult following. Some people just have that cult following. I think Uzi, Playboy Cardi, like, people who kind of, like, I don't know, led that alternative hip-hop wave in the 2010s. Like, people will never stop going to their shows because it's a vibe. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. Troy, what do you think Drake's gonna do the rest of this year? Him moving to Texas, him putting out this content, these collabs.
Hopefully he just takes some time, really takes his time, ingrains some like passion into his next project, and hopefully he comes back strong. I wouldn't be mad. I've been like kind of like indifferent on Drake's most recent albums because it doesn't feel like he's really trying. It kind of just seems like he's just pumping music out. I'm not sure if it's with his new deal and he kind of has to, but like, I mean, if he makes a really good album, I'm not going to be upset. So hopefully he just takes some time, just focuses and drops some heat.
That's what I've been asking for. Like, just shut up, go away, get off all social media, do a cleanse.
I really don't think he can. I really think it's probably just within his deal to stay active and drop X amount of music. I do like the rumor of him dropping with Party Next Door. I think that'd be great, especially for the fall vibes.
I just don't want to hear a bunch of Meg disses and shit. Like, come on, bro, please.
Why not?
Cause it's like it's old. Like, this shit happened like 4 years ago now. Let it go.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that if it's good. Like, I liked Her Loss. I wasn't mad at that project with Drake and 21. But I said, like, I feel like Drake, he needs someone else to feed off of. He needs someone else to feed off of at this point to make good rap music. And that's a part of why everyone, loves Not Like Us, because he's a colonizer. Now, it's hard for him to do that. So now he's like, okay, I'll work with my Canadian artists, P&D. We can put out some melodic shit. And I would love that. So, I just want some good music. And I just want people to stop acting like he's the best rapper alive or the best rapper ever. Like, I'm so happy that it's over. Like, I'm real. That made my year. Like,
oh, man. I can't remember who I was, what clip people were talking in, but they were like, oh, now that like Drake and Cole are out of the top 3 basically for rappers, who is in the top 3?
Man, that's funny.
They were like Future, and then there was no consensus on the 3rd spot.
Nobody knows. I mean, Big Sean's saying he's that guy.
Where's Big Sean been for the last 5 years?
I don't know, being a dad. I don't know, like
trying to explain why him and his wife are not getting married. Like,
well, it's not his wife. Oh man, I don't know. Big Sean. I mean, he says he's dropping an album this year. I've seen that he's been doing interviews and media stuff, but I haven't listened, so I don't know what he's talking about.
I just don't care. I don't care. At a certain point, when you're dormant for too long, like, you become irrelevant.
Unless you're just, I mean, you don't say that about Rocky. You're like, oh, I'm excited to hear from him.
Because for him, it's a little bit different.
What's the difference?
At the time.
What do you mean?
It's been, what, 6, almost 7 years?
For both of them.
Rocky's been cooler than Big Sean.
They both, got baddies pregnant,
Rocky's way cooler.
Of course, Rocky's like, yeah, I don't think that's fair. And I'd like Rocky's music more than Big Sean's, honestly. I feel like
listen, I don't want to talk bad about Big Sean because when we saw him, he fucking killed it. Yeah. I want to be clear. Like, we saw him come out open for J. Cole and he tore the house down.
Yeah.
But that was also like 8 years ago.
Yeah. And then Cole put us to sleep with the lullaby.
It was a good show, but yeah.
It was a good show, but it was a weird contrast. And I think none of us were expecting Sean to show out like that. That I Don't Fuck With You was like probably the height of like our hypeness.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
But we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of different lanes for people who've been in the rap game. We talked about Drake and 50 Cent reuniting. 50 posted that picture of them. He said they got some great ideas. 50, he's on his way to $1 billion. Not only did he just win $1 billion lawsuit for the show Power, this former drug kingpin sued him. This guy Corey Ghost Holland alleged that 50 stole his life story for the show Power on Stars. Of course, he lost this lawsuit because they never really made mention of him specifically at all.
Ever.
But I mean, he shot his shot, but it kind of backfired. 50 wins again. I feel like every time 50 wins a lawsuit, he posts about it. He just won another lawsuit from Young Buck, and he said, "I need my money Monday." He's a guy I would not fuck with 50 at all. I would not fuck with him.
I haven't seen 50 lose ever. Like, honestly, I don't think we've ever seen 50 lose any of these like lawsuits, anything.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot think of a single time that he's been like on the shit end of the stick.
Yeah.
Pause.
He lost to Kanye.
Oh yeah, that's
true. They had that beef thing. I think that was the first time I realized. Like, I was like, wow. Like, what was that? 2005, 2006, 2007. Wow. Yeah, when Ye sold more albums than him, and didn't 50 say he was going to retire if Kanye did?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did say that.
He did say that.
Yeah, he did. That's true. That was a shift in the culture right there, 2007, and Ye kind of took over the Sound of Music. That was kind of like the last gangster rapper in that format. We also had the trap wave that happened like years after that, but that's a separate thing. But yeah, that definitely was a shift, and that was his last big album. But since then, 50 kind of moved in his own lane. He's had video games. He was acting in movies early in his career. He kind of built this entertainment empire. He just did a feature in Us magazine. He says, he's on his way to $1 billion. Like really working in Hollywood. He has deals with all types of studios and streaming apps. Yeah. And they ask him, like, how does he do it all? And he says, well, he only needs 4 hours of sleep. And then in January, he proclaimed on Instagram that he was practicing abstinence and focusing on his goals. Asked about his progress, he says slyly, well, I did it for as long as I could. But the cash kept pouring in, man. Do you think staying abstinent, man, can help you be focused and actually get more money? You believe 50?
I believe it. You probably wake up every day angry or some shit. Like, you got to get some work done. Like, I'm not getting no pussy. I got to get out here and get the money. Like, I got to get something that's going to make me feel happy.
Yeah. You definitely save a lot of money being abstinent.
That is true. That is definitely true.
If you're not seeing nobody, I would say. But he also said he only gets 4 hours of sleep. I know you love your sleep, bro. Could you imagine getting 4 hours? Do you think you could, survive off that?
4 hours is no. I wouldn't be able to do that. I feel like he has to take some naps or something. I know when I was in college, there was this kid who he was on like a 4x4 sort of schedule where like he would do 4 hours awake, 4 hours go to sleep, 4 hours awake, 4 hours go to sleep, and just like alternate like that or some shit. And
What?
No, I'm serious. It was like some weirdness that he was doing, but he was smart as shit. I don't know where he is now, but
in jail. What the fuck? I mean, that's where that schedule may make sense. I can't understand that at all.
I can't imagine only 4 hours of sleep though, because if you do that long enough, it's going to catch up to you. You're like not going to be able to function.
Yeah, I don't know, Troy. Could you imagine that 4 hours of sleep?
No, that's not enough sleep. I think 6 hours is doable.
Yeah.
4 hours, that's not enough.
Yeah.
So I hallucinate.
6 hours is doable, but you do that for like 5-6 days straight. 7th day, you're not gonna wake up when that alarm goes off. You're gonna be sleeping for another 6 hours.
Yeah, but imagine how much you can get done with 20 hours in your day. Like, I'm sure he's actually putting that to use. If he's working out, he looks like he's in great shape. I know, when we saw him in the Super Bowl,
his ass looked like he was taking Ozempic too. But
a couple years ago at the Super Bowl, he was hanging from the ceiling. He looked a little bit inflated, but he looks like he's in great shape now.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that he's able to be successful. One thing, Troy, you mentioned Kanye. Like the one thing I always take away from 50 and Kanye and the contrast is when they talk about being a rapper, because he says, I don't want to be known as a rapper. Like, I'm an artist. I do all this stuff. I want to be known as like Steve Jobs or Walt Disney. But 50, he has the entire different outlook on it. And he says, I want them to call me a rapper forever. So then they don't have any type of expectations of me. And I can do all this. They can underestimate him. And also he could do more wild things and nobody really seems to care. He can beef with people. He could, shit on his baby mom on Instagram and be on The View the next day like nothing happened. It's wild to me. So shout out to 50. He's incredibly smart and he's doing a lot out here. So we'll see if he does anything with Drake, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he'll work with Meghan Markle. She needs some work. Our favorite couple, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They have another one of their annual Sympathy interviews. We talk about Meghan pretty much every year. Last year was their documentary. The year before, I think, was their Oprah interview.
No way. I thought they wanted to stay out of the limelight. What happened?
They need the headlines, man. They need to tell their side of the story. But yeah, Meghan, she opens up again about her experience being bullied and having suicidal thoughts. She got really emotional in this interview with CBS. She's like, when you've been through any level of pain or trauma, I believe part of our healing journey, certainly part of mine, is being able to be really open about it, and I haven't really scraped the surface on my experience, but I do think I would never want someone else to feel that way, and I would never want someone else making these sort of plans, and I would never want someone else to not be believed. So if me voicing what I have overcome will save someone or encourage someone in life to really genuinely check in on them and not assume that the appearance is good, so everything's okay, then it's worth it. I'll take a hit for that. So she's a martyr. She's taking the hit for everybody else who's suffering. If anyone else can relate to her problems, marrying into the royal family as a black or biracial woman, if anyone can relate to that, her job is done. She's a hero.
Listen.
Just go back to Suits, right? Like
I know. You won't have any of these problems if you just go back to Suits. Last year, most watched show in the country. And listen, Harry, I don't even want to talk about her and her bullshit. Harry, he needs to come home. His hair is thin as fuck up there.
He looking like his brother.
Yeah. He is getting ready to have to shave that shit off. I'm telling you that. Because you don't want to walk around with the horseshoe. The horseshoe looks crazy.
Bro,
trust me, I know. When I let my shit grow for 4 or 5 days, no, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Would you ever do like the reverse fade that you see on Instagram?
That is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Why?
It's ugly.
It's like a kind of like a mullet, but I don't know, like a bald mullet.
It's bad. It's bad. Like, people are so desperate to pretend they got some shit that they don't have. Like, just embrace the baldness.
That's not pretending though. That's working with what you got. It's just being creative with it. I don't know, if I saw it in person, maybe I think it was fly. And I feel like that type of haircut, you got to get your haircut like every 2 days, because once it starts growing out, it's going to look weird.
Yeah, it's so stupid. People are desperate, man.
But you can't be bald if your name is Harry. That's fucked up.
I think you can be bald if your name is Harry. That's
ridiculous.
Fine. That's fine.
He needs to change his name to Baldy. Oh, man. But shout out to them. Every year they come out crying and telling us how horrible their life is. It's crazy. Everyone was celebrating them when they got married. And now, shout out to Meghan for destroying the royal family. America wins again.
I mean, she killed the queen, which is a great start. And what's his face has cancer. Like, she's on a crazy run on the low. And I think all this is a diversion. It's a diversion tactic. See, this is why I said I didn't want to talk about it, because it's just all jokes. I have nothing serious to say about this.
That sounds pretty serious.
She said, I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
Oh my God.
I would sit up at night and I would just I don't understand how any of this is being churned out. None of this makes sense.
Listen, then when people start saying stuff like that, then you can't say anything. You can't say anything. You can't be critical when they say, oh, I was suicidal and things like that, because you have to take them for their word. But when people keep coming out to say the same thing every year, it's just like, I don't know. It's hard to sympathize.
They're preemptively so they launched a foundation, which I think this is a little bit noble, but at the same time, it's like, how are you already setting your kids up to have excuses for why they're fucked up or something like that, if God forbid that happens to them in the future? The foundation is to provide crucial support to parents whose children have suffered from harmful effects of social media, from facing near fatal harm, managing ongoing mental health difficulties, or experiencing the tragic loss of a child. Okay, that sounds really great, but why are you talking about, oh my God, my life is so terrible because I've been bullied, woe is me, the online pundits, they just can't leave me alone, the British family is racist, all this type of shit, and then you've got two kids that are 3 and 5 years old, and like, oh my God, I want to make sure that nothing like this ever happens to them.
It makes sense to me. I mean, you just made a pretty good case for it.
She's so desperate. We do this every single year, every 6 months. It's like, my God, please, can I just live happy and be out of the limelight?
Yeah.
And then they go on TV and talk about how they can't be happy or be out of the limelight. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I just don't.
No, yeah, it's crazy how they almost make me want to side with the royal family, but I can't ever do that. Fuck that. So, whatever. Every time they come across the timeline or a new interview, I just kind of roll my eyes. It's the same old shit. But let us know, guys. Do you sympathize with Meghan Markle? She talked about her trials and tribulations on Deal or No Deal, how she was just meant for so much more than opening a briefcase. Whatever happened to her podcast?
I don't know, but together, I have a hard time having sympathy for people that are worth over $50 million.
Why?
Because you're worth over $50 million. Any problems that you could have, you can make them go away.
That's not true, man. There's a lot of rich people who kill themselves and are miserable every day, man. Anthony Bourdain seemed like the happiest guy in the world, and he offed himself.
I heard they're going to come out with a whole documentary for him, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never really got into his show or anything. I know he was cool with Obama, but, when people say that, you just say thoughts and prayers, but doesn't mean I have to really buy into everything you're selling. Just another sympathy interview. But, yeah, someone, who, I don't know, he wasn't really sympathetic in his stand-up special, man, Joe Rogan.
Oof.
We talked about this at the pool party, because you had asked me, you're like, did you see Joe Rogan's Netflix special? Mm-hmm. And I hadn't seen it yet, but have
you watched it since?
I did watch it. I did watch a lot of it, yeah.
And what were your thoughts?
My thoughts, it was okay. I didn't really laugh that much at it, and then I did have my mom in my ear heckling us for watching it in the first place. She was just like, oh, he's so funny. She's like, you guys aren't even laughing. I was like, listen, Brian said it was good. And I was like, and Hager said it too. And they all said they watched it and it was funny. So sorry.
I think because I noticed a lot of people that like have listened to his podcast and stuff. They were like, oh, it wasn't that funny. But I feel like for me, because I don't really, the most recent episode of his podcast that I've listened to is the Ye one from like last year and the Terrence Howard one from like 6 months ago. Like those are the only 2 episodes I can remember listening to. So for me, hearing him talk, like it was different because I'm not that familiar with him. Mm-hmm. And in both of those episodes, he barely did any talking.
I mean, with those 2, what the fuck?
So for me, it was some of it was funny. Now there were definitely parts where I was like, all right, bro, what are we doing? Like this is old hat. I've seen these jokes on Twitter, but other things I thought it was entertaining. I did not like the Michelle Obama joke, but I'm glad he took it back a few lines later.
I mean, yeah, he was just being, trying to be shocking. Troy, did you watch it at all or no?
No, I actually forgot it came out. I think I did, like, when it was added to the docket. I watched, like, a clip or 2, and I was like, I don't really find him that funny. I don't really watch, like, his interviews and stuff. But, I mean, if you recommend it, I might check it out, but I'm not really looking
I think it's worth a listen, but you're not missing anything if you don't, watch it.
Yeah.
If
I get some time, I'll check it out.
I'd say listen to Vultures first.
I'll add it to the list.
No, but yeah, whatever. Like, good for him, I guess. He got the bag. This was another live event from Netflix. So they've been, unlike Twitter, they've been good at the live events. After, fumbling the Love is Blind reunion last year, it's been pretty smooth sailing for them. I mean, they've been picking and choosing their events, and he's a big name. I like Joe Rogan. I don't really listen to his podcast at all, but I like him on UFC. I used to listen to his podcast like 10 years ago until, like, I don't know, he's just too sympathetic for like racist people.
You heard him say nigger too many times?
One too many. Yo, that compilation was wild, but also, like, if they ever made a compilation of us, never mind. Never mind.
Listen, I pray we get to the level where they just make compilations of us.
Be careful what you wish for, man.
That's a fact. But let's get it. Let's get it.
He's like, give me that 50 million. I'll be depressed. I can take the slander. Oh, man.
Listen, I'll go buy an island somewhere and disappear.
No, I don't know. Hell yeah, it sounds good until the hurricane comes.
Pacific.
Okay, that's smart. That's smart, man. But man, like speaking of getting flamed, the Olympics. Woo! We missed the whole Olympics, guys, but we're gonna update you guys on everything because it was lit.
It really was.
It was lit.
Really was. Oh my God, where do we even start? I mean, first we got to do a round of applause for the U.S.
Yes, sir.
65% of the medals went to the United States. What was it, 140 something?
Oh, all in total?
Yeah, I think 126 medals went to the U.S. and China came in second with 91 medals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we both tied for 40 in gold, which is crazy.
We did.
China's catching up.
China is catching up. They're trying to send a message. I mean, I'm not that surprised. After they had like their Olympics and everything like that, like you had to figure with Beijing, they spent like $100 million on that opening ceremony when they had the Olympics there. They're a developed country, like they buy and build everything, like they gonna do their shit.
Yeah, man, they started COVID, they do everything.
They did. That's the one lie that Trump like was not lying about.
Well, that was so chaotic, man.
China. They made this in China.
Something happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was great, man. I love that it was in Paris. You recently were in Paris, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I'm sure seeing all the events and everything kind of gave you some fond memories.
Yeah, beautiful city, beautiful city. I'm glad I got to see at least in the pictures. I can't remember the name of it, but the big hall where they had so many different events and things like that with the glass dome and stuff like that. We couldn't go in when we visited because
really?
They were
prepping for it.
Yeah, they were prepping.
Wow.
But yeah, it looked dope. I like Paris a lot. I want to go back.
Yeah, I'm going back.
Yeah, in
a
October.
couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to go with the fam, but I haven't been in 5 years, so definitely looking forward to it. I always go. Every time I've been to Paris, it's been like October or late September, October. So same time again.
It's probably going to be a nice time to go.
Yeah, it is. It's the fall. It's beautiful there. But yeah, it was dope, man, watching the Olympics, you know, daytime events in the morning. It was always over by like 4 or 5 p.m. But I know we talked about Team USA basketball, and they got it done.
They did get it done. I wonder, you know, I'm not going to run back what I said before because I still feel the same way. I still feel like they're going to have to do a better job of, you know, playing as a team, actually getting practices together, all that stuff leading